I was at the Modern Art Museum in New York because I was there for Christmas break. I was walking around the floor and I saw this painting. It's full of matted grays, not a lot of bright colors, very low saturated. But I realized something. There was one, two, three, four, five, six men and one dead woman on the table. Table, couch, one dead woman on the couch. After looking at it, a bunch of ideas started coming to my head. Like, what does this mean? Is there a reason why everything's so dull? At first, I thought it was potentially trying to signal how women are mistreated in everyday life. Because even though the woman is dead, you don't know who killed her. The only man in the room with her was a guy playing music, but he didn't have a murder weapon. There was no blood on him or anything. Three men were outside the window looking in, and two men were outside the room. One with a knife, no, not a knife, one with a net, and the other with a club. Maybe this was supposed to be a perpetual cycle of how the patriarchy oppresses women, on how even doing mundane, simple things like playing music hurts them in the end. Because I listen to a lot of rap and hip hop, and God, misogyny is like inbred in there. Whoa, whoa, I love it, but still, Jesus Christ, martial law and all that. Even though I haven't seen uh, much of his other works, this one doesn't particularly strike me as endearing, fascinating, or stirs the soul much. I thought maybe the themes I talked about earlier is supposed to be why it was inside the museum. But after kind of like looking at it, I don't think that's the case. And I was thinking maybe I projected my own ideas onto the painting because I was watching fucking Red Pill video earlier talking about how the dynamic between men and women, how patriarchy doesn't exist, which I disagree with. So maybe those sudden ideas kicked in the back of my head, and then I put those ideas onto the art piece. Because the actual intention of the artist, what I can tell from my like 10-second research, basically he was really into crime movies, which I can kind of get. Everyone's in suits, except for the woman, obviously. And that's why he painted this painting. Like the theme I thought of in my head doesn't exist, doesn't matter. But does that make my interpretation like wrong that I thought that? Or is it simply that the author's intention, Rene, doesn't really fucking matter in this case? You know the perpetual argument, what's art and what is the true meaning of art? When it comes to paintings, it's really hard to decipher the true meaning. When it's like movies, I think it's a little bit easier, not much, because you can have like references. You can be like, oh, that contradicts that. But in a painting, you can't really say what contradicts what, really. You can add some points, I think, but I don't think it's the same thing. I thought I was really smart when I came up with all of those ideas because I don't know why I thought I was smart for that, but I just overthought it. I assumed the matted grays was represent how dreary it is, even though there's a splash of red and a splash of blue in the painting. The blue and red are pretty dull in comparison. The red doesn't strike you as bright or like shocking. It doesn't stand out. Neither does the blue. And even though blue is supposed to represent like justice, intelligence, considering how dull it was, it seems to me at least that it contrasts, not contrast. It seems to me at least that the blue, how do I say this in a way that makes sense? It seems to me that the blue in the painting was dulled and saturated to represent, even though that the outsiders do have knowledge of what's going on, the knowledge was deemed normal or unimportant for them to focus. That's why the blue isn't as bright. That's why it's gray. That's why it's like dulled down. Same with the red. The red isn't passionate or exciting. It's dull as fuck. That's supposed to represent, I think, that there's not really much danger. That even though she is dead and that could potentially be some of her blood on the couch, it's just, who cares? Like, who cares? This is just a normal occurrence. A dead woman on a couch? What? One, two, three, four, five, six. Six men in the area. Nothing. Nothing. just a woman on the couch. But yeah, all those thoughts don't mean anything. The man was just into crime movies. I don't know what crime movies they were, or were they crime books, considering time and place he was born. I thought I was so smart thinking on that. I thought maybe I could peer into the guy's mind. Maybe I could understand him. To be fair, I thought he was a girl at first, considering his name. That's why I thought that. Maybe I can peer into his mind, understand him. Maybe my media literacy skills have finally leveled up. But yeah, it was just kind of all for nothing. Like I made a piece. I made my own drawing based off my own false interpretation of his artwork. Can I say that's really fair to him? Is it really fair that I fucked up the meaning of his art piece? Something he left for history. Something he left after his death to show his like true emotions. Is it fair to him that I misunderstood it so badly? Would it be okay with that? You know? Because if I had an art piece, I'm not sure if I would be okay if someone misunderstood the meaning of my art piece if I was dead. If I was alive, I guess that would be like okay, that would be fine. But if I was dead, first of all, I wouldn't have these feelings. But just thinking about it kind of ticks me off in the wrong way. It's like I would be mad at myself for not being able to communicate properly what I thought